The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
This is CNEagles.com. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, alongside Dino Waites. Already talked to him last week about the defensive backs. Today, it's special teams coordinator, and kind of an interesting year. Bring back a ton in the return game. You've got an All-American there in Lonnie Williams and Antonio Wimbush, one of the larger punt return yard seasons for an individual player in the past couple of years, but some people to replace in terms of legs. Let's first talk about the return game. Lonnie Williams, All-American back in 2014. What's he need to do to have a spectacular senior season returning kicks?
Well, Lonnie is a special talent back there. You get the football in hand, and you never know what can happen. And so I'm looking forward to him. This is his last year. He's a graduate. Which is big, and I'm looking forward to him to have a spectacular year. The big thing that's going to happen is we're going to have to get the guys blocking for him, the other guys that's back there returning. You know, they gotta be ready to lay their lifeline down on for each other on the blocking game, and so that's what helps spring the guys loose. And then you got Wimbo in the punt return game, man. Was number one in the sack, I think, in return game. He actually had some, touchdowns, but they got called back, which you know how big that is in a return game. So he's a special talent too at punt return. We just got to do our part as blockers and as coaches to coach the guys up, get them right, so that we can make these things happen for us in the kicking game.
Carson-Newman's been long snapper it feels like, for the past few years. Dusty Nance, preseason All-American, three-time first-team All-Conference guy. And Dawson Campbell got the nod last year as a freshman. He's preseason All-Conference this year, heading into his sophomore year. What kind of steady hand does he provide for the team as a long snapper?
That's a position that can get glazed over, and then you say, oh, we need one of those guys. And we've been blessed to be able to have, two guys. You just said, with Dawson coming in. I mean, he's been amazing to jump in as a freshman and not miss a beat. It's very steady. He's young, but definitely – he wants to take the leadership role and wants to do exactly what we ask him to do. He's great to be around all the kickers, keeps those guys in order. And the big thing about Dawson is his heart. He has the greatest heart out of anybody on our team. It's kind of funny saying that about a long snapper. He doesn't really have to hit anybody. But, man, if I had to take somebody to battle, for hearts, then I would take Dawson with me, and that's the great thing about him.
Now, those are the guys that you have coming back. You got to replace the legs, though. Carson Wise graduates in 2 years. Good on him. He moves on to North Carolina State, so you got to find a new kicker. Boatload of freshmen getting reps here in preseason camp. Who's stuck out to you? Who has to do what to get the starting job?
That's a big part, man, to cover up. You got some, we've been doing great as far as legs-wise, kicking, punting. We've been doing a great job. And so we got Carson leaving. That's big, and I'm glad for him. We bring in a couple guys that I think that'll do a good job to fit in. Eli, who is a local kid from Central, not Central. Man, he has a great leg, gets the ball up really well. He's been doing great since camp. And then we got a Virginia guy in James Dick, who has been phenomenal, has a really strong leg, and he's gonna get more consistent. He's gonna be able to help us out big time. And then we got Drew Udy, who's been continually, really helping himself stay consistent in the kick game. Ashley is a great holder, too, so he's trying to get into that part of it. And then Hunter Ashworth also comes in from Virginia, who kind of has a connect with Carson-Newman. His granddad was in is in Carson-Newman Hall of Fame, so he has a high potential, too, high ceiling also. So, man, at any moment you can see any one of those guys out there kicking for us, and I think we'll be fine.
How challenging is it to determine who that guy is when they're all performing fairly well through camp?
Well, that's a good thing. When it comes to that position, you never want them to be relaxed. It's easy to get to, this is our guy, as a kicker. But you always want them to have competition, to know that, hey, if you're not putting it through the uprights, then this next guy can put it through the uprights for us. And so that's what's exciting is I know all four of those guys are competing for a spot, which is great. And that's a big thing. That's what you want in your kicking group and your special group. You want those guys to be competing daily to be the guy on Saturday.
Dino, thanks for the time. Good luck this year.
Thank you, buddy.
At Special Teams Coordinator Dino Waites, I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, and this is CNEagles.com.